look at harassment. In terms of sex and gender are often used interchangeably, but they're different. Sex distinguishes biological males and females. Gender does include sex, but it also includes common behavioral characteristics, language used to describe gender, clothes, and other things to refer to genders. These are learned through social interactions generalized by sex, often referred to as masculine and feminine. There are also negative terms used to persuade people into conforming to gender stereotypes. We need to be aware of gender stereotypes and not judge others because they don't fit into our view of how males and females should look and act. Sexual orientation is intended to emphasize the diversity of sexuality and gender identity based cultures. LGBT refers to those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. There are other diversities, including Q, those who identify as queer or are questioning their sexual identity, known as LGBTQ. I includes intersex people, LGBTI, and A, asexual, LGBTA. Putting them all together would be LGBTQIA, so LGBT plus is becoming more common. We need to include LGBT plus in our groups by avoiding homophobia, an aversion to homosexuals, and bias and discrimination based on a person's sexual orientation if we want to get along with people. The gender and sexual orientation neutral terms replacing husband or wife and boyfriend or girlfriend are significant other and partner. In some school systems, they no longer refer to children as boys and girls. According to the EEOC, harassment and sexual harassment have sex discrimination that includes unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. This conduct constitutes sexual harassment when it explicitly or implicitly affects an individual's employment, unreasonably interferes with the individual's work performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment. To keep it simple, for our purposes, sexual harassment is any unwanted behavior of a sexual nature. Quid pro quo sexual harassment occurs when sexual consent affects job outcomes such as getting a job or assignment or promotion or keeping one's job. Hostile work environment sexual harassment occurs when unwelcome sexual behavior creates an intimidating and offensive workplace for anyone. By far the most common offense is men sexually harassing women, but women also are the harasser and same-sex harassment also takes place. Romance does change behavior and human relations at work. Sexuality at work detracts from productivity. Employee dating is rarely a private matter, especially between a supervisor and subordinate. Romance can disrupt other employees, triggering questions about fairness and favoritism, and can disrupt team cohesiveness. Romance by both genders sometimes leads to sexual harassment once the relationship ends. Political correctness is being careful not to offend or slight anyone with our behavior.